Hello, guys. This is our big DC episode. So this is episode 4, where we're going to be chatting all about the future kind of, DC universe, DCEU, and the current state of things over there. I'm Tom.
I'm Harry.
And
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. Yeah.
Talk some DC.
Yeah, talk some DC. So obviously Comic-Con we just had.
We did.
This past week.
Yeah.
Not a great deal of reveals
No.
on the DC side of
Not
things.
much to talk about from that. Really? It's a good place to start.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But I say, we did get the first look at Creature Commandos.
We did, yes. Yeah, we did. Have you seen the trailer?
I have.
Yeah, what did you think?
Gonna be honest, kind of thought it was a bit shit.
I will be honest with you. I thought the same. Yeah, I couldn't give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, yeah.
When it was first announced, I was just like, okay, fine. I love horror and everything. But, I love the Suicide. I love James Gunn's The Suicide Squad movie that he did. I thought that was really good. So I was like, okay, basically the Suicide Squad with kind of horror monster
sounds
characters.
interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, not really feeling this. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but it's not because it's animated. I think that's
no, not at all.
I love that idea. It's just I think as a starting point, I like that they're doing something fresh and unique, and that it's not the same stuff that we've seen so many times before. But I just think I think there's something more they could have done that would have been a better starting point and something more interesting. Like, it's just an idea that just feels a bit random and a bit irrelevant and a bit, I don't know. It's not something that will grip me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I get that, this is obviously a different universe, so they want to do things, new things, and like you say, different and fresh ideas. But I don't know, it's just something like this. I know James Gunn, he's so good at taking these unknown, obscure characters and making them fan favorites. Guardians of the Galaxy. He made me care about Polka Dot Man, for fuck's sake.
I know.
So
and Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher,
Big fan of Ratcatcher in that. Film.
Yeah, me too, and fucking Weasel as well. He's really good at taking these characters and making you care about them, and make it And I definitely I will watch it. I'll certainly give it a go, but just off the kind of the base of it, the first look, I'm just
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it, to be honest. So yeah. And again, that's going to be because that's this year, isn't it? December.
Is it? I think so. Yeah, I don't even know.
So this is technically I'm still really confused by this. Is this the first part of is this the first entry? Because he says Superman is the start of it, but we're getting this first. So
yeah, but then there's Peacemaker season 2 next year. But then that's not season 1 isn't canon, but season 2 is.
Yeah. See, that's the whole thing.
But it's a follow up from season 1.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe I'm just being really stupid. Maybe this is already being explained, but I'm just still so confused by so much of this. That's why I think it's better to just do a complete reboot, not this soft reboot thing where
don't keep anyone.
You're keeping some of the same cast, and it's either just recast everyone, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just
bring everyone back.
Or just continue the universe.
What are you doing?
Just it's just so weird because there's parts of Peacemaker season 1, obviously the Justice League appear at the end, which is Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa. That version of Justice League.
Yeah.
But and they make jokes about Superman in that, and there's, and then the whole thing with
there's Blue Beetle as well. Is that canon? Is that not canon? Because is there an animated series?
There's an animated series
with the guy that played it.
Yeah, so I think that is coming. I think that is.
Canon.
I think it is. Yeah, sorry, it's obviously going to come over, crossover. I think it is canon.
Great.
Because they don't really again. That's the thing. Again, if it's canon, surely that's then the first entry.
Well, exactly, because that came out last year.
So we've already seen that character. We've already seen this.
How come Warner Brothers have fucked this up already?
I don't
Doesn't
know.
make any sense.
I don't know. Honestly, how? Yeah, I don't get how difficult it is just to do a shared universe. For fuck's sake. But I'm very excited by a lot of things though.
I was going to say let's talk about.
Let's be optimistic.
Arguably, the most exciting thing we've got at the moment that we do know is coming.
Yep.
Is a certain man in a red cape.
Yep. With red trunks.
It's not Thor.
It's not Thor.
It's Superman.
Superman's
You're
wearing the t-shirt today.
I'm wearing the t-shirt today, which I appreciate you can't see, but I'm wearing a Superman t-shirt.
Take it from me, guys. He's wearing a Superman t-shirt.
He is wearing a Superman t-shirt.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what are your...
I'm fucking
the idea of Superman, what we know about it, which, to be fair, isn't all... We don't know much about the entire plot, really. There's rumours and leaks about certain things, but the actual plot, as far as we're aware, we don't know much about it officially.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this version of Superman? How do you feel about everything we've seen so far? What are your kind of initial thoughts on this version of Superman?
I personally am really excited for it. I like I mean, I do like the costume. I totally get the criticisms as well, but it does feel it feels classic, but it also feels I think it does feel quite homemade. So I get the impression that he will change his suit in this movie. Like I think this is a suit he's made himself.
Right.
That will get changed. So that's my that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
Because
his mum's made it.
Or that his mum's made it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I get the whole like comparisons to the CW. I get all that, and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. I think David Corrin Sweat is a perfect choice. I mean, to be fair, all the casting in this movie, like they're all the people that I wanted to like. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, 100%.
So interesting. Well up for that.
Yeah. But like, what we know about the plot, is in like where basically, you've got a group of heroes like Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. They're basically they're heroes, but they're almost a bit like they're quite ruthless and stuff. I think they kill.
Aren't they
people.
being like not controlled, but aren't they under the rule of the guy from different actor, obviously, but the guy from Wonder Woman 1984,
Maxwell Lord.
Yeah,
which is
kind of like under his rule.
James Gunn's. Yeah, James Gunn's brother's playing him.
Sure,
so yeah. So I think they're kind of almost like they're basically sort of like sort of almost government sort of owned property.
Yeah.
So they get kind of called on, and basically, so they're quite sort of ruthless and a bit kind of rough around the edges. And Superman comes in and he's all like kind of,
hey guys,
like kind of like sort of good natured and clean cut and everything. And he's like, oh no, this is how we should do it, kind of thing. And they're like, who the fuck's this new guy?
Yeah.
So I mean,
love that. I love that angle.
Yeah, that's it. That's interesting. It's kind of not kind of what I thought would work for like a first Superman film. But then again, this this is not an origin story.
No.
He's been Superman for like a year, 2 years at this point.
That's what they've said.
Yeah. So this is very much going to be like Superman in a kind of joining a shared universe again.
Yeah.
So I think that's I think it's going to be fun.
And for me personally, I think what I've really wanted in the last few years is just a Superman, a hopeful Superman, a Superman that smiles for a change. And again, this isn't necessarily any reflection on Henry Cavill. I know we have different views.
Kind of feels like it is, mate. But
well, we do have different views on his Superman.
We do.
I'm personally not a fan of his Superman. In Man of Steel, he's great. Love him in Man of Steel. Everything beyond that, not feeling it. I think just because when I think of Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman is kind of everything I don't think, and I just that darker. I mean, if they came out and said this is the Injustice version, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
But because I don't know, that's the whole. I mean, that's a different, different conversation for a different podcast. But
no, I think we should get into it now. I think the viewers are demanding.
If you want to get into it, let's get into it. Yeah, I just think his version of Superman. I don't think the choice he has in Man of Steel, for example, of killing Zod. I think there could have been a way around that.
There was no way around it. That family were going to die, Harry. He could just let the family die.
I think he could have found a way to have stopped it because the Superman.
No, you're right. Well, thank you for joining us, Harry.
I think the Superman way is to avoid all kind of forms of death in any way possible, good or bad.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he is the righteous kind of hopeful Superman. If that Superman was in this world, our world, I would be terrified of him. I wouldn't look at him as a hero. And yet when he dies in Batman v Superman, everybody is sad, and there's a whole memorial for him, for a man that he sacrificed himself for the planet, but at the same time,
they should have killed him off that early.
He's not at that point by the citizens of Gotham and Metropolis and the rest of the DC universe. He is not the Superman that they deserve. I don't think at that point. So his death.
I agree with that.
I think his death is wonderfully done, and the soundtrack in that scene is incredible, and that scene is really well done visually. But I just think his death did not feel earned at that point from his character. And
I totally agree.
And then when we see him in Justice League, even both versions, I just don't feel like it
lacks the kind of, I think, the oomph of having him back.
The emotional,
I think
it lacks it. As a viewer, I didn't feel anything really.
I think, as a fan of Henry Cavill Superman, I just feel like I think the DCEU, I mean, they never even really gave it a proper name.
They literally never did.
But I think the best way to sum that up is just just a wasted opportunity. There's so many
way to describe it,
that whole saga of films, if you the whole thing together, I just think there's so much more that could have been explored and so much more that should have been explored and the way they should have done things. And I think they the fact that the first few movies didn't perform as well as they wanted, they just kind of like almost like, you know, they were just scrambling. That, you know, if they had a clear cut plan of like what they were trying to do and just stuck to their guns, I think, you know, it would have worked out better.
Definitely.
But like, you know, trying to compete with Marvel, you know, and trying to make Justice League like more fun, which, you know, didn't work. And, you know, like the Suicide Squad, like that was just a mess. And like, the first movie, not the Suicide Squad, like, you know, the original movie.
But again, hot take. I do prefer that first Suicide Squad film to the James Gunn film. Yeah, I do.
I mean,
personally,
I do like the stuff. Like, I like it. Like, it's very. I remember that's Comic-Con trailer, like when it came out, was it like 2015?
About that, yeah.
It had like Bohemian Rhapsody playing.
Oh my god!
Like, I loved like the style of it. Like, I thought, oh, this is so like just kind of like just colourful and kind of, like just quirky and weird and like
twisted.
Just like just trippy. And I was so into it, and I was like, fuck, this sounds like, you know, an epic fucking like movie. And I just, unfortunately, the end result wasn't. Although the extended cut is better.
I'd agree with that. And yet they filmed so much Joker stuff, and yet the extended footage doesn't really have all that extra.
We got like
Joker
5
stuff.
minutes of extra Joker
yeah,
stuff.
And yet Jared Leto is convinced that they filmed like 2 hours worth.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that Comic-Con trailer, I don't think it was the Queen one. It was like, it was more, I think that came later, that one.
Oh, okay.
But I just remember that very first trailer, and the very first time you see him at the end, and he's like, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to hurt you really, really bad.
Yeah,
that was like, when that came out, everybody went nuts. I remember
we're fucking crazy. Yeah.
I am again, now I'm in, actually I'm intrigued to see what your thoughts are on this. I am a big fan of his Joker, Jared Leto. How do you feel about his Joker? The damage tattoo you can get in the bin, that can piss off.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Again, I think if we'd seen more of him, I think there's a good Joker there somewhere. I just don't think we saw
deep.
that.
You've got to really dig deep to find it.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, in the extended, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League, that kind of end bit, that little sort of prologue bit. Like, I would have loved to have seen more of that Joker.
Their interaction is
just
incredible.
The reach around line's still kind of weird to me, but
we don't need to talk about that.
We don't need to go into that, but
no, that's weird.
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of things there that I would like to have seen. Like, I really wish he'd popped up in Birds of Prey.
Why the hell didn't?
Like, what a waste! What a fucking, like, even if it was just like a little, you know, sort of cameo, just, you know, 10-minute sort of bit,
just anything.
Just anything. Just all we got was like a double. You know, we got to see like a double from behind. You know,
as someone that likes his Joker, I don't understand why he wasn't the villain in the Suicide Squad. Nothing against the Enchantress, but like, I think
she was shit. Yeah, she was awful, but. Like, yeah, it should have been Joker. Like,
it just should have been. It just should have been Joker. There's an animated film. Quickly, I was going to say, there's an animated film called Assault on Arkham, which I think is the best Suicide Squad film ever made. I stand by that.
Yeah, that is really great.
I just think it's a perfect. It has Batman in it for the right amount of time.
Yeah,
it is a Suicide Squad film, so it mainly focuses on them. But then the Joker is in it. Nice, nicely. Yeah. Just a lovely little film.
Yeah, 100%.
I say lovely; it's quite graphic, but it's a good film.
Yeah, no, I really do. Yeah, no, that is definitely a high recommendation from us. But
just the DCEU in general was just a shit show.
Yeah, but you know, with the newer side of things, like, I'm really excited for, you know, obviously Superman, Batman Brave and the Bold. I'm really excited about.
Well, I'm intrigued by this. I believe Andy Muschietti is still attached to it. I don't know what the deal is with that. I heard he dropped out, but then I also heard he's back in, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the Flash, so I would be intrigued for them to get someone else in. I think Guy Ritchie would do a cool Batman film. But then I guess it's like a fluffier kind of Batman film, I guess. Well,
I think. I mean, I'd be down for Andy Muschietti coming back and doing, because I like the Batman stuff. He filmed.
Batman stuff is great
for the Flash.
I will say that.
Whether you like the Flash or not, like, I think pretty much everyone agreed that the Batman stuff was pretty great. I mean, I would be down for that. I would love to see.
Who would you cast as Batman?
See, for me, I would cast. Is it Alan Richardson?
I think that's his name, yeah. Something like that.
I forget his name, but I mean, I know he's, maybe too big to be Batman, which is, I know, it's kind of feels like a strange thing to say. Like, someone can be too hench to play Batman.
I don't know. I it could work.
But I would love to see him. Yeah, I think I've no doubt about him being a great Batman. I think his Bruce Wayne is sort of the only thing that I think, could he be Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever really seen him in Reacher and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Does he do the voice for Raphael?
I think he was like the motion capture, but he's fucking awesome in Titans.
Oh god, I forgot he plays Hawk.
He's Hawk, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan
he's
of him.
Fucking brilliant.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he's very good in that.
Yeah, so that convinced me straight away.
Fair.
If you ever want any kind of proof that he would be a great Batman, watch Titans, which I think is all on Netflix now
I think it is. Yeah.
in the UK. So yeah, fucking watch that. It's awesome.
You've just. I don't need to even give you my answer, James. If you're listening, fucking bring him in.
Yeah, bring him in. I mean, to be fair, I mean,
Who else could
what's the
that
guy, Soldier Boy from The Boys? He was in.
Everyone keeps going on about him, don't they? What's his name?
Jensen Ackles.
That's it. That's the fella.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in anything.
I mean, again, yeah. I mean,
sort of looks the part. He's done voice work for Batman.
he is currently Batman in the current animated universe,
There you go. Yeah. So
and he's got a really cool Batman voice.
yeah, I'm open to it.
yeah. So
Don't really know his work, but yeah, I'm open to it.
I would love to see them. He's probably a bit old now.
Okay.
Well, he's definitely too old now. But
JH
JH.
John Hamm.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say for Robin. I was
Okay, I'm
thinking
with
Robin
you.
now.
I'm with you. Yeah. John Hamm would be a cool Batman.
Yeah, but definitely too old for Robin.
Definitely too
Yeah.
old for Robin. Yeah.
I was going to say I don't know what his name is, but the guy he plays number 5 in Umbrella Academy.
I know exactly who you mean. I don't know the guy's name, but I
Yeah.
do know exactly who you mean.
But like, I mean, if they were going for maybe like not Jason Todd, Tim
Damien?
Drake,
Tim Drake, yeah.
he would be great. But I know they're going with Damian Wayne.
Yes.
He's too old for Damian, but he would have been my pick for
Yeah.
a Robin. I think he would make a great Robin at some point.
I presume we will see the full Bat family in the film.
I hope so, because that's what
They
I
need
really
to
want
exist.
from this new version of Batman. If you want to make it stand out, you want to make it different, then
Yeah.
just give us Nightwing, give us Batgirl,
Yeah.
Robin,
Yeah.
Red Hood, even just the whole fucking
All of
shebang. Just bring them all in, because there are so many fans that want to see this, and I think if you don't do it in this universe, which does already feel more like it's like lighthearted.
It feels how it should feel for DC.
If that's what James Gunn's going for, and I know he is, the sort of person that would embrace the quirkiness and do all the weird shit, and
Yeah.
that's his whole thing, so
That's his stick.
whether you like him or not, like that's his, that is his playground that
Yeah,
he does so well. So I think that's the way to go.
I want to see that. I also want to just because it worked so well in Deadpool and Wolverine, I want to see Batman with animated white eyes,
Oh my god, yeah,
'Cause-
that needs to happen.
because the cowl would look amazing with that.
It would look fucking awesome. Yeah, if
I need that. I also want blue and grey for my Batsuit.
yeah, I think that would be cool.
I'd like that. And maybe bring back the oval look, maybe.
Yeah.
For the logo.
Well, I would love it if they did a sort of a rebirth thing where you got the yellow trim around the
Oh,
outside of
that'd
the
be
bat.
beautiful.
I just think that
Oh,
looks
that
really
would
cool.
look good,
Yeah, that looks nice.
Just make it look aesthetically very different. to
Yeah,
what we've seen before.
just that's the whole thing with this Batman. Just do something different with it, something we haven't seen before. Like that's all I want. But some of the new projects that are coming.
I was just going to chime in.
Yeah.
Sorry, just on the subject of Batman, just
Yeah.
as a quick
Yeah.
side note, the Batman 2 is also coming.
Okay. Oh
I
yeah.
just thought I'd just quickly mention that.
Yeah,
We've
100%,
got
yeah.
the Penguin next month, I think. That
Yeah.
starts.
Fucking buzzing for that.
Very excited for that. Have you seen the latest trailer?
I have.
Came out last week, I think.
I
That
have,
looks
yep.
Very exciting.
That was really
we don't
cool.
know if Batman's in it yet. He probably will be.
I think whether it's Batman, I think definitely Bruce Wayne will appear.
I hope so. I know there was rumours or like footage of him somewhere wherever they filmed it at the time. Wherever they filmed it, Pattinson was there. So it would be interesting to see him turn up, even if all I need him to just turn up at the end of an episode, the end of the series. That I'd be more than happy with that.
Literally, even if it's like the last scene of the
Just him on the
show,
rooftop.
it's him on a roof. Maybe he swings in.
Yeah,
Maybe like the whole series is Penguin trying to I know it's about him like kind of competing with like Falcone's like daughter
Yes,
and
yeah.
everything, and like the
him
remaining
trying
parts of his family.
Yes, yeah.
And then maybe just like he finally gets there, and then Batman swoops in at the end
Stops him.
and stops him and
I'd
sends him
love
to
it.
Blackgate or something.
Yeah, it was confirmed over Comic-Con, I believe, that Colin Farrell will be in the Batman Part 2.
Cool.
So at the moment, we only know Robert Pattinson, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell. As far as I'm aware, are the only returning casting members at this point.
Right.
There's very little information on the Batman 2, which does surprise me. I know it's going to start filming, I think, early next year, probably about January, February. So I don't really know. We just don't know much about the story yet, which does surprise me. But I know they're still working on the script. So
Quick, kind of just
yeah,
like last sort of
Sure,
thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
I was going to say, I did start watching Batman.
I was going to ask about this. What did you think?
Have you watched any of it?
I've not, but I've seen I've seen all the trailers, and I've also seen the clip they released of him, like Batman dangling someone over a.
Yeah.
What I saw of it and the aesthetic of the show, I think, looks incredible. How was the first episode?
So I've watched the first 2 episodes so
Okay.
far. So I watched this. So as of the recording
whole
of this,
series is out, isn't it?
whole series is
Yeah.
out now, which I'm still not sure if that's a good or bad thing. But I'll be honest, episode 1 was very underwhelming. There's a lot of things I didn't like about it.
Oh, okay.
But episode 2 was fucking great. And
Very
I'll say if they do, like, I think episode 2, because Matt Reeves is a producer on it.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
that is the perfect way to do Clayface in live action. I think.
Ooh,
Episode 2.
okay.
That's all I'll say, mate.
You've piqued my interest.
But yeah, like for me, there was nothing. Not to like kind of get into it too much, but like obviously they've like changed the Penguin
Yes, they have.
in this show.
Yeah.
Like, and I get that they wanted to do something different or whatever. That's fine. But in this show, there's no reason why. It's like they don't really explain. There's nothing that makes this this version of the Penguin different. It's just she's the Penguin is a woman for those that don't know in this show, and there's nothing about. But it's just weird because like she doesn't have like apart from having a sort of a big nose, like a sort of like Oswald Cobblepot, like she's like this kind of supposed to be this kind of like almost like sexy kind of version, but do you know what I mean? But she just
looks like the Penguin.
She just looks like the Penguin, yeah, and it's just really weird and. Like, there's one thing, really brutal thing she does, which I won't say, which is like fucking hell. Like, okay, like I definitely like a menacing villain.
Yeah.
But I just think like what they should have done, like for me, like this would have just been a really cool villain on its own.
Yeah.
I just think it didn't need to be. You didn't need to change the Penguin. You could have just created a new character. Like fucking hell, like Harley Quinn was created by Bruce Timm.
Yeah.
For like the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And she's arguably as popular as the Joker is now.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So like, there's nothing wrong with creating a new character in an animated show and making it part of the Batman lore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they should have done because she's called Oswalda Cobblepot.
Right, okay.
Which is just like, okay.
It's so on the nose of of Oswald.
And again, it wasn't bad. Like I didn't hate it.
Sure,
I just think things like this when they're changed for no reason and you don't, I don't know.
You don't need to gender swap. You can just write a good female.
Yeah,
character.
that's it. Just write a great character. It's like there are plenty of great female characters in DC as it is. You don't that's what you need to do, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do intend to get into it very.
Very definitely
soon,
watch it. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. One thing I would say is, at least from the 2 episodes I've watched, Batman is almost like a side character in his own show. That's another sort of criticism I would say. He's not really in it all that much. But I'm only 2 episodes in, so that might change.
I kind of like that in a way though, because it puts more. I presume the show is more of an emphasis on the villains, is it?
Yeah, so far it is. Yeah,
I kind of like the idea of him just working in the shadows a little bit.
Yeah.
So like he's always lurking.
That's very much what this Batman is. Yeah, and I don't know the guy that's doing that's taking over from Kevin Conroy, but his Batman voice is fucking great.
What I've heard of it is good. Yeah.
Really, it very much reminds me of. He's got this really cool like. It's a bit Kevin Conroy-ish, obviously. Like that's there is that.
You're not going to foundation these days.
That is like fucking just default Batman voice for everyone. But he's got this cool like almost like Robert Pattinson kind of like husky whisper to his voice, like
wicked.
Kind of how when Robert Pattinson's doing his like vengeance thing.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of thing. So it's almost like a cross between. I would say it's like a cross between Conroy's voice and Pattinson's voice.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Actually.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I will. Once I've seen it, we can have a proper discussion on it. I'll be intrigued to delve into that.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. But I would say so obviously coming up we've got the Lanterns TV show.
Yeah, TV series. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
Basically, just for me, it needs to be, which is kind of what it sounds like it's going to be. I want it to be Lethal Weapon in space.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what you need to do. That is 100%. That needs to be the pitch for this. Yeah, I really hope that's what we get, like a buddy cop.
It is Hal and John, isn't it?
They haven't really said yet.
Are they not? Okay.
But I would imagine that's probably. I mean. Obviously, they've introduced Guy Gardner's going to be in Superman.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
So obviously, he's going to pop up. Yeah. But I would actually like it. I think it'd be cool if it focused on Hal and John Stewart.
Yeah.
But also if you have other Lanterns pop up as well.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Kilowog or
bring them all
Marcus Chomik or whoever it is. You know, Simon Baz, like whatever. Yeah. Jessica Cruz. I could go on.
I say you're just saying names at this point. I'm just nodding, but
Alan Scott.
Saying names.
Yeah. Why the fuck not? That's a rhyme for you, Alan Scott. Why the fuck not?
There you go.
There we go, guys. Put it on a t-shirt. And there's another one as well, like the Paradise Lost series, which is basically like sounds like a show about Wonder Woman's world, like Themyscira.
Just without Wonder Woman.
Just with no Wonder Woman in it.
Is that animated or live action?
I think it's live action.
Right.
Which I've heard is it's basically like DC's Game of Thrones, but honestly, like I just think like
why?
If Diana's not going to be there, like what's the point?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, that's my problem. Yeah, I know that they've said about doing an animated Wonder Woman series, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah,
do that instead.
Yeah, do that.
This is my concern already with this, and I don't want to be negative about the DCU, but I do feel like already they're stepping in weird tracks at the minute. Is the idea that for like a potential definitive take on the DC universe for the films is they want to go and introduce different parts of the universe, which I think is a great start. Don't always just start on Earth, explore the universe. Great idea. But the problem is, I think they're going in strange directions where I just can't see it working.
Mm-hmm.
I know people were concerned at the time, at the dawn of the MCU about starting with Iron Man. Why would you start with Iron Man? We all know that clearly worked very well for Disney or for Marvel. But I think for DC, I don't really know if I like the direction they're going in. Why are you smiling?
Sorry, you've got a bit of fluff on your...
Have I got a bit of fluff on me?
Sorry, I've been meaning to say it for like 10 minutes now.
Can you get it off me?
It's gone, you got rid of it now.
Is it gone?
Sorry. Yeah,
That's fine, it's fine. Sorry. It is very warm in here, to be fair.
It is warm, it's toasty.
But yes, I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Sorry, you were saying DC, about how, like where it's like a good place to start.
Going in weird directions. And I'm not confident in what they are announcing. I don't think is the best start to their universe. Doesn't feel
there's a lot of things that sorry to cut you off, but there's a lot of things where like I just feel like I'm still just unsure of a lot of it. I'm still confused by a lot of it. Like I don't know where a lot
Where's
of
the certainty in all of this?
It's like I know people have asked it, like James got on Twitter about all this stuff, and he's answered some of the questions, but I still don't know like how does Peacemaker fit into it. Like I'm sure we'll find that out in Peacemaker season 2. And it's like you said with Blue Beetle, like how does that fit in? Like there's just a lot kind of that we're unsure of, and he's like, but then when he says things like, "Oh, Superman is the start of the DCU," but we're getting Creature Commandos like end of this year,
so it's Superman is next year.
Superman's so it's like how is that the first entry when we're getting?
Unless he means chronologically, but that's still I don't know.
I mean, maybe he
hasn't specified that.
He hasn't specified. It's just there's a lot of questions over. I mean, like. If I had to absolutely, gun to my head, if I had to say I am, like 51% DC, 49% Marvel, like it does sway slightly more to DC for me.
Right. Probably 90% Marvel, 10% DC.
That's fine. That's cool. That's absolutely fine.
No, Batman's my favorite superhero, so I will always have allegiance to DC.
Yeah.
But I prefer Marvel by a few country
miles.
No, that's
absolutely fine. Yeah, totally cool. And
maybe that's probably where maybe my knowledge comes from is I know more about Marvel, so maybe the DC stuff. If I delve into it more, maybe I will be more excited.
There's so much cool stuff there, and I just really want to see like. And the thing is, like I'm gutted Henry Cavill's not playing Superman, but I just want to see more Superman. It's
we need more Superman.
I'm just happy that I would take, I'd much rather have a new Superman movie without Henry Cavill than him still being, being like he is still our Superman, but I don't want but say we don't get what's the point in keeping someone like Henry Cavill as Superman if you're not ever going to use him? If you've got no plans for him, I'd rather you just recast him and brought someone else in because at least we're going to get Superman movies. So I'm gutted he's gone, but I just want to see him get the treatment he deserves.
Sure.
Get because Superman is a character that we should be getting Superman movies really every, I would say, 3 to 4 years
every
at
day
least. Really,
yeah. No, I did. He is, arguably one of the most
important fictional
characters in history.
Yeah,
and yet the fact that DC, so they did for a long time, they just purely didn't know how to relate him to a modern audience. One of the most, I think this is why superheroes are so beloved, is because they are, I think they're kind of relatable in every generation.
Yeah.
And they are timeless. Superheroes are always
100%.
timeless.
100%.
So Superman you don't need to work out how Superman fits into the modern world because look around you, he does fit into the modern world.
Yeah. If you got the right writers and the right team on board, like, that's the problem.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need
to work out how he fits in. He does fit in.
Yeah.
Because these characters are timeless.
I mean, look at Superman and Lois, a great Superman show.
Have yet to delve into it.
You fucking need to do that, mate.
Need to do that,
awesome. But like that's a great
what I've seen
modern
I've loved.
Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, read the current DC comics, like plenty of like recent comics from the last 10 years or so.
The new 52 Superman run in particular, I've only read the first few volumes, but that is cracking stuff.
Yeah.
All-Star Superman is on my list. That's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, like there's so many great Superman books out there that just do such a great job of bringing him into a modern. So just look at that. You don't need to just adapt a fucking just adapt an already great story. That's all you need to do.
That's their issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but as I say,
I'm very optimistic for Superman. Next year. I think we are in for a treat.
Definitely. I'm very excited. I'm just a little bit confused by kind of where things are sitting at the minute, but I'm hoping that once things we get going, then it'll all become clear, and that'll kind of put any kind of confusion and doubt to rest. But I mean, was there anything you want to add at
I
all?
was trying to think if there was any sort of other little bits to cover, really. I mean, we don't really know much else beyond that, as far as I'm aware. I don't really know what else they've
No.
confirmed, I guess.
I think that's kind of the main
Yeah.
topics, really.
We've got the I like the idea that a lot of their universes are going to collide in terms of like the animation will be set within the live action stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
cool.
comics
And
will
the
be canon.
games,
The
you're gonna be
games
getting new games that
Which-
are going to fit.
does intrigue me. There is that new Wonder Woman game coming out at some point,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which I don't think we've had a trailer yet. Not an official full trailer. We've had like a teaser one, I think. But what we've seen of that looks amazing, and it's like an open world Wonder Woman game.
Yeah.
I hope that that's going to be canon. I don't know if it will be, if that is separate. But I like the idea of them exploring these different things throughout the different mediums.
Yeah,
of
definitely.
animation and comics and stuff. So that's one idea that I think is very unique to this universe already.
Yeah,
I love.
that's definitely like a cool sort of just different thing, having and getting the same actors to come in and play sort of reprise their roles in different medias as well. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it for now.
Main
Like
stuff
with
for now,
DC,
isn't it? Yeah. There'll be a lot more to talk about over the next few years, I think.
100%. Yeah,
Especially next year.
we'll do plenty more episodes on this. So this is just kind of a recap. Obviously, we've got like so many awesome things. Like, obviously, got Supergirl coming as well.
Supergirl coming, yeah. She's
Super
gonna
excited about
cameo
it.
in Superman next year.
Yeah,
we've
so
got
I'm
her
really
next
excited
year.
for that.
That film should be good. Oh, I'm excited for
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. And yeah, it's everything. On paper, this should all work out fine. So I hope it does. I can't wait.
Theoretically.
Yeah, theoretically,
So
I hope it does. But let us know in the comments, like, what did you think about, what do you think about the current state of things with DC?
Have you got any hopes for the new universe? Any casting choices
Yeah.
you'd be up for seeing?
Like, what are you excited to see? Like, what do you hope to, to get out of this, new universe? And yeah, as I say, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah. Anything you want to say before you go, Harry?
No, I think that's pretty much covered it.
Cool. Well, I say it's fucking hot in here, so we're gonna head off now. But
Go and get in the fridge.
go and get the fridge and the freezer. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for checking the video out, guys,
Have a wonderful day.
and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Ciao.